everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Iman and we are watching episode... That's a good question. I don't know what episode this is, but I know it's called Sunset and I'm excited. This has been a great series and season so far. I think the last episode had Annie coming out of, basically her crystallization. So Annie's back in the picture, which will be interesting. I mean, it took long enough, so we'll see if she's gonna pop up into this episode or not. If you're watching this on Patreon, hello, thank you for sticking by. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you like the daily drops. All of this is gonna be out by the time I've finished watching it, so I won't really be able to interact with your comments like in real time as if I'm, while I'm watching it. I'll be done with it, and that's kind of what I've been liking. That's kind of what I have been doing, and I like doing it that way because I don't then get anybody else's like opinion yet. I get to just kind of watch it, and if I have wrong takes or different takes or whatever, it's like, okay, at least I was able to get what I wanted to say out, and then I can then read the comments safely without any spoilers, and then conversate with you guys in the comments, or at least read the comments. But yeah, I'm going to jump into this episode, and then hopefully it's a good one. Oh, right. This is a thing. This is interesting. Yeah. People are literally dying on the ground, and people are just, oh, this is real life. Oh, Annie. She's wet. Oh my god. Annie is gonna be like wild. Ooh. Annie is prepared all the time. The female titan. Oh, hold on, Annie. You just met your match. Damn. Hitch, don't die for this. Whoo. I mean, I wouldn't. It's, babe, the world is falling apart. There is no point in this. It's taken him a while to come in. I mean, he's like, I hope she's fine. I just pretend I want to help her. I'm coming in. Their horses are so beautiful. I like how they draw horses. She was in an awake coma. She knew everything. Oh no, and she knows Armin was in there. Interesting. Yeah, because of Aaron. It's already going on. They're walking that way, so yeah. Yeah, and I don't think we can stop them. Damn. Yeah, it was like they were taught, they learned it was good. You tell someone something enough and they're gonna believe it. We didn't know this information, did we? Damn, he got her like trained. To give himself a better life. Oh, okay.
私は物心つく前から男の生まれた国の格闘術を叩き込まれた。戦士になれるかどうかの価値しかなかった。時が経って。
That's really scary. I mean,
私は男が望んだように強くなり。
she had no other choice. She was taken by him.
二度とまともに歩けない体にしてやった。
Oh, so that's why he's always limping.
男は喜んだ。これなら武器がなくても敵を殺せるって。
Wow.
何の話？どこの国の何人が？
Yeah, because she was raised that way.
自分を含めて命というものに。
Damn.
男は膝をついて私に謝った。教えたことはすべて間違って。
Oh God.
泣きながら懇願した。
He found Jesus.
帰ってきてくれと。
He was like, "Ooh, I was wrong."
名誉マーレ人の将軍。
Hey, this is how it is to be a parent. You or hopefully learn at some point, but
私の父親だった。
yeah, but
私は自分の娘だと思っていた。私には帰りを待つ。
okay, so she still loves him.
私はこれまでに取り返しのつかない罪を犯したと思っている。でも父の元へ帰るためなら。
Everybody's got a reason and everyone's got a purpose for what they do. And like freaking that kid would probably do that for his father that we just saw and that person and this. It's just... Yeah. Wow. Oh, God. Imagine seeing that in our lifetime, like in the real world. Oof. Okay, there he is. Oh, they couldn't see the vision. Oh, that's tough. Oh my God. Hey, you know, that's why the people didn't get on Noah's Ark and then... There's literally more of you than them, guys.
分かった。約束する。
No. No. Yeah, poor Shadis. No, you guys have lives to live. You're young. Yeah. Damn. Patience. Yeah, absolutely. That's a tough one. Oh, right, Connie took Falco. I mean, you can just turn into the Colossal Titan. I mean, that's a good threat. Yeah, everyone's gotta decide for themselves now. Yeah, Armin's learning. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's so smart. Armin is a realist, not a Jaegerist. He's a realist. You gotta do what you can do. What's in your control? But Mikasa has definitely been a follower. And I understand that. It's much easier to follow than to lead yourself. Safer. Well, that's true. I do miss him. Well, you know, I mean... I'm sorry, Armin. I love you. Erwin is dead, so let's stop bringing him up because it's pretty hurtful for me. Who took it? I hope Nicolos stays alive and the whole Browse family. No. Aww. Ooh. Really? Flock! What? This is so terrifying. Flock is so scary. Yeah. Oh boy. Wow. Wow.
さっきの質問だが、俺はエレンの代弁者だ。エレンが島の外の問題を完全解決するなら、俺も島の中の遺恨を完全に消し去る。
Just like Armin said, I mean, it's dangerous.
生き残ってようやくこれを手にしたんだ。これが何かわかるか?
Don't tell me.
自由だよ。
You're not living Erwin's dream.
お前は憲兵になって内地で快適に暮らしたかったんだろ。そうしろよ。お前は英雄の一人なんだから。だからもう昔のジャンに戻れよ。
Wow.
いい加減でムカつく生意気な野郎に。
But how do you go from war to civilian life like that?
コニーさん、
We're done.
助けてもらってありがたいんですが、ずっと北に進んでますよね。
Oh, he lied to poor Floki, Flock, Falco.
記憶喪失のお前を安全な病院まで。
Wow, Connie is pretty dark. My son. I did not know my son was like this. Holy cow. To help people. Yes, your mom wouldn't want to be revived in this way. Wow. Hey man, you think people are nice. I've been there before. Oh, Hanji. Imagine they just... Oh! Come on. Oh, Lord have mercy. That's right. That's right. Freaking, of course Levi wouldn't die like that. That's crazy talk. Yeah, wow. I mean, this was... Yeah, you know what? You can't go wrong with Attack on Titan. It's such a great show. And every time, like, I'm not watching them all at once. I'm not watching all the episodes all at once. But, you know, so there'll be like a week in between when I'm watching the episodes. And then I'm like, yeah, Attack. But then every time I watch it, I'm like, oh, God, yeah, it's such a great show. It's written so well. And the story it's powerful and it's so deep. And this episode is just, there's so many parallels again to the real world, and it's interesting. It's just interesting to see, because we could all sit here and talk in our like safety of our own homes. We're not living in a situation like this with these giant titans crushing us and our family members to death, and you know, the whole world's about to be destroyed. So we get to be like, no, you wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. None of us really know what we would do if we were put in the situation like this. Although, or however, you would hope to be like, you know, Shadis and his boys, Annie. You'd hope to be like Armin, Mikasa, John. But I don't also blame like the people who were just like, no, it was worth, those sacrifices are for the bigger cause, the greater cause. Like Aaron's trying to help us, and there's going to be sacrifices in that, in this path basically. And then there's other people who are like, people died, like my son is dead, and you're telling me this is okay? And that's how it is. It's like, I don't know. It's like, I've always sat there and I thought, like, how could we ever even come together as a society and work on things without having war or fighting or battles or anything, just sitting down and discussing? Because that's the thing. Like, it does seem like people need to die sometimes, because that's sometimes when things change, when people die or get hurt in certain ways, like the this is a random example, but in How To with John Wilson on HBO, which is this really awesome, I love the show. And when we were watching it, basically there was this episode about scaffolding and how there's a bunch of scaffolding in New York, and people are pretty much like trapped in their homes, or like their windows are covered. It's almost like being in prison, and all these beautiful buildings, the Statue of Liberty, everything that you're in New York for is covered in scaffolding. And I guess it all started when a brick from a building fell and hit a girl in the head and killed her. And so there was like an act, went into play, which was, we're going to create these scaffoldings so that so this won't happen again. But then it turned into like protection sometimes turns into overprotection. Correction sometimes turns into overcorrection, because we're so afraid of anything hurting us or happening to us. So in a way, it was good. It was good because, man, that's a horrible way to just lose your life. And it's sad. But then it turns into, now everything is covered in New York. All the beautiful architecture is covered. For what? And then on top of it, the episode goes into that there are like scaffolding businesses, and they go to like these meetings, and I forget what those are called, but everyone shows up with their own business and they talk shop, and they're trying to sell their business, and you make so much money doing scaffolding. And it was like a world I never heard of until I watched this, and it just it was like this kind of like, that every time there's ever been a situation, there's always an overcorrection. In some cases, it's a good thing. So like with diseases and stuff like that, we learned how, okay, with viruses, we can have vaccines, we can have medicine, we can have, bacteria, like antibiotics. So less and less people can die, less and less people get hurt. Those are good things. What happened with Hiroshima, that and Nagasaki, it showed, okay, the weapons that we have are out of it's crazy. This is not okay. But it led to like maybe people coming together and more coming together for peace, more of an industrialized society, which I have my own thoughts on that. I can't go into that right now, because then that would be another thing. But there's good and bad with everything. And I think with this, this is an overcorrection. Aaron's plan is an absolute overkill. And I don't know. Maybe he didn't know what else to do. He just didn't see it. He did not see any hope. But that's why I keep saying now I'm including Gabby in this, but Falco is the key. There is a real interesting thing about kids, and that is that they are not as jaded as us. They're not as bitter as us. I've been saying this in my never-ending movie reaction, in Stranger Things, I feel like there was several other movies that I've been watching. But this has been this theme that I truly believe in, which is kids are the answer to a lot of our problems. And it's just sad because a lot of us are not taught that our children are the future. We're just taught that other people's children are the future. And so there's this lack of confidence within all of us, and we just don't believe like our kids could be the next Einstein or Leonardo da Vinci or Robert De Niro or something like that. All of us have the capability to become amazing people. We all have minds and brains to work and study and learn, and instilling that into your children, instilling that into your siblings, your nieces, nephews, grandchildren is so important. Even if you're a stranger, just giving a kid a smile, whatever it is, maybe they're interested in something, you just say, hey, this is what this means. I have this toy, or I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example, but we all, instead of hating kids, and I see that on Twitter a lot, where people say they hate kids, and I've never understood that. I feel like I don't know. It always rubbed me the wrong way, because you were a child before and you were stupid. Like, we were all like kids. We're like, when we were kids, we were ignorant. We just didn't have all the information. We weren't stupid, but we were ignorant. And then depending on our lifestyle and how we were raised, then you either going to have more stupidity or ignorance or, smarts. But everyone is capable. Everybody has a chance. It's just that sadly we're all like in different, like, some people are living through poverty. Some people are homeless. Some people are extremely wealthy. Some people are in the middle. And that does affect how people will look at themselves, and how how much time you can even put into your children, because you're really just thinking about, I need to make rent, I need to make enough money for food, and that's really it. It's survival. So what else can you do? But the kids have a beautiful outlook on life. My children are always telling me things that are like, they blow my mind. I'm just like, wow. And I listen to them. I really do. And there's things that they don't know, of course. And that's my job to teach them and also kind of push them a little bit in certain directions, and or help me, nudge them, rather than like, you have to do this. But it's like, what is it that you like? What is it that are you good at? And okay, let's push you in that direction more. Let's keep doing that. But what I've noticed with my kids is they're very open-minded, just naturally very open-minded. And I think that's how all kids are. I do believe racism and sexism and all of that is it's something that is instilled in people, in children and adults. You're not born with that inside of you at all. You can feel fear or be like, that's different, and be like, kind of like, curious, but no one actually has hate. You're not born with hate. But yeah, you have a whole society of flocks, basically. They want their lives back. They want to be free. They deserve to be free. So I do get Flock's like ambition and his like, I get his heart, but he's so far gone. Like, you're killing people. That's not okay. He's like, sometimes it's good to be submissive. It's like, but you're a hypocrite, because you are literally saying you don't want to be submissive anymore. And now you're on top. And now you're doing the same thing that they were doing to you. It's just the same thing. It's like when someone gets a little bit of power when they never had it, and then they get on top all of a sudden, then they start hurting the people that were hurting them. And it's the same cycle over and over and over. So that is why I keep bringing it back to Falco and now Gabby. We need these children to make changes. And that's what I'm hoping for. I think Aaron has made the wrong choice here. I can understand it. And it is interesting to have Jean being told, like, hey, you don't need to be stressed anymore. Be free. You're free again. have fun, do your thing. And that's very interesting of like war. Coming back from the war, you do things and you see things that are Jesus. You see things that are unimaginable. You do things that you just can never forgive. And we expect our veterans to come back and be like, hey, have fun, dudes. Do whatever. Who cares? Oh, by the way, we're also going to celebrate you guys with fireworks, even though that's going to probably make you feel like you're back in the war. But hey, we weren't there and we love the fireworks. They're loud and sparkly and big. I always thought that was weird how like to celebrate veterans, we have fireworks. and they literally sound like bombs. Whatever. But yeah, I just... There's PTSD. There's a whole shift in your brain. You've got to come back to the real world. You're a civilian. You got to fit in now. And it's like, how do you fit in when you've done things that you can never speak of? And even with your own self, it's hard to speak on it. And then even people who've never been in war, I'll put myself as an example. Growing up in an environment that puts you in survival mode all your life. That has been me and millions, if not billions, of other people who have the same background as me. Very unstable, a very unstable childhood, scary, just kind of like not knowing what's going to happen, lots of yelling, lots of just a lot of stuff. And it's not a like, oh, boo-hoo, woe is me, because it's like, look, there was beautiful moments in my life. If I could go back and change things, of course I'd love to, but I can't. But I know that for me, it's like, I'm in survival mode to this day. I thought I was out of it, but I'm not. And that's something that's going to stay with me for a very long time. It's just because that's what I know. That's how I've lived my life, the majority of my life. So when I actually feel calm and things are quiet and it's peaceful, I get anxiety because I'm thinking something's off. This is wrong. Like, this is wrong. And you can't understand that unless you've lived a life like that. But yeah, so I have to change my way of thinking, my outlook on life, and try to find peace and be present in my peace, basically. So it's just interesting. There's a lot of, we're human, and there's so many, everyone has a different everybody has a different perspective. So I like that the show is showing all of that. I love what Armin was saying. I love what Annie was saying. I love that we got a backstory on Annie. That's very important. And I've said, so like her dad found Jesus, but like, that's also a very true thing. Like, parents, especially with their first children, are not like, they don't know what they're doing. And then usually the second and then the third, they're a lot better, maybe more calm, less like snappy, whatever it is. They've honed in on what being a parent is. Hopefully, you would hope. And so I'm sure at some point it just kind of all clicked with him. He probably started to get more peaceful or something. I don't know what happened, but he was just like, this is not the way. He was just living his own trauma from where he's from, and he was trying to get out of the bottom. And he saw a baby and was like, you know what? This is our way out. And he thought he was doing the right thing, and then he realized, oh my God, I was not. And that's human. As much as what he was doing to her was not okay, it is absolutely human to be able to say, I am sorry, and I was wrong for how I was behaving. I did not know, or I thought I knew what I was doing was right. That is what it is to be human. So I'm thankful for these stories. They're so important. I love that anime gets deep and talks about very uncomfortable issues like that. And yeah, and Connie is... We'll see what decision he makes. I'm surprised a bit, but at the same time, you just don't. Everyone has an agenda. Everybody has an agenda, and you don't know the most sweet, kind person, or who you think is that way, is not, or then maybe they can change when things aren't working for them anymore, when you're not like bending to their will anymore, or whatever it is. Trust me, they will change up on you. And that's the thing about trust, is you must trust people. Falco is trusting him because that's what he's a kid. But we should trust people until they hurt us. We shouldn't be out here with like our guard up. Although I don't blame you if you do, because I mean, I'd be a hypocrite if I said I don't do that either. I've had to, that's how I survive. So, but I've also realized, like, yeah, you've got to trust people until they show you can't trust them. And yeah, it's tough, because I do like to live in this world in my head where I believe everyone's good, and no one would lie or cheat or go behind your back to hurt you. And that's not true. And I've seen it, and I've kind of looked away at it when it comes to me, in my own, like, how these certain people were to me, and I could see, and then to others, where I was like, damn, that's bullying. I don't like that. I'm not about that at all. But I let it slide. Like, no, they're excusing the behavior. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, this is making me think about other things, but as long as you can just trust in yourself, and then, like, hopefully, like, Falco can, God, I don't know. I'm gonna jump into the next episode, though. That's important for me. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching and listening to this discussion. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye, everybody.